Some fundamental communication principles is understanding the I message. One of the things that triggers the bad wolf, that causes things to feel unsafe, often is the you. You often comes across as an attack or a verbal assault, and so that makes it unsafe. When we start with the I message, I feel or I would like, it's an invitation. When we say you, that is more of a command, and that triggers the bad wolf. That's a fundamental thing to be aware of and keep in your mind to help as you discuss things to keep things safe. Other trigger things that everyone triggers on is when in sentences and discussing things, we say you always or you never. Sometimes a few simple words make a lot of difference. You may feel always, you may feel never, but the conscious mind gets in gear and say, is that true? Is it always? Is it never? And one way to soften that and make the communication flow more easily is just to add the word almost. Almost always, which is really similar, but just adding that word softens it a lot. Same with almost never. Or it feels like always, it feels like never. Then that's understanding to be your experience rather than a judgment. And judgments always, there I go, always. Judgments almost always come across as attacks. Back to the earlier chart on process. Part of safety, again, when we talk about basic communication, depending on which book you go to, the words we use really are only 7% of the communication. How we say the words, the tone of the words, that's about another 47%. So we're now at 54%. And then the rest of that would be nonverbal communication. It's been more than once where I've been in a discussion with my wife, and as she's listening so intently, watching my face and all my nonverbal facial expressions, she will trigger on that, and that makes her feel unsafe. Because as I'm thinking about 3 different thoughts in my head, trying to decide what to share and how to say it, my face is expressing all the different thoughts. And so that becomes very confusing to her and very unsafe. She often can project many things before I even had the thoughts in my own head. One way that I've had to change the process to help us be successful is to invite her to turn around. I remember one specific time we were in the bedroom and we were standing up, and I had to invite her to turn around and sit on the edge of the bed with her back toward me, not looking at me. And I sat on the bed with my back toward her, and that allowed us to successfully have a talk, to be able to hear each other, what we wanted to be heard and said. That created safety. It also slowed the processing down because now we're just focusing on the words instead of all of the communication that came from the nonverbal cues, which is half of communication. By simplifying it, we were more successful. That's a very common process that I have couples implement in their discussions. You have 2 kitchen chairs and back to back, you can do that. I have even had couples lay down on my floor and look at the same spot on the ceiling. That way they're not looking at each other. And it's hard to really get the energy into fighting when you're laying on the floor. That makes it a lot safer to do. So again, the more bizarre the intervention, the better it breaks up the pattern and the habits that we have in our mind. We want to get the bad wolf out of the picture. Thanks for being here. I appreciate everyone.